we're reminded how much we need each other during this time. It's all of us with the same struggles trying to navigate this season. And speaking of those things, for our community prayer time today, we want to focus on a specific topic because during the COVID-19 season, and also with so many of the kind of discussions happening in our society right now, we know that many of you have expressed just an increased amount of anxiety and stress in this season. And so that's going to be our topic for prayer today. I'm going to invite my wife Lydia to come join us and actually lead our prayer time today to pray for these things.
Hi, good morning, family. Good to see you guys. We'll have 3 prayer points for today. And the first is this. And it's common after this shock and dealing with the initial crisis to, I think, ignore feelings and thoughts. Maybe because they're just not as loud or like as obvious as it was like in the beginning. And maybe we're just really tired and exhausted from feeling everything and dealing and coping. And so we'll often feel numb. But nevertheless, I think those thoughts and feelings are still present and maybe in different volumes from one person to another, myself included. And it's often like several weeks, sometimes even months in this case especially since this is still going on, right? Our socio-political issues are still happening. The health crisis is still happening, right? And there's just so much environmental crisis as well, right? With global warming and all that. I think a lot of times we'll feel that later, and that's our way, how our bodies cope. It's like you're trying to just survive and get by, and then later you'll feel what you feel. And sometimes those thoughts and feelings could have changed, to something else, but they're still present nevertheless. And so let's ask God to help us to continue to identify healthy outlets. And that can come in the form of life-giving activities, maybe having mutually respectful conversations, just to take that edge off of the anxiety. I mean, it's not going to cure anything. It's not going to make it go away. But yeah, whatever those outlets are, to ask God to identify. Second, ask God to help us to identify hope in His creative way. And for us to recognize that hope as He gifts it to us. A lot of times, I think that hope comes in a form that we're not used to, and that's just how God speaks. And maybe sometimes it comes in a way that it's very familiar, but then we're expecting something glorious or something just very profound, and then we miss it. And so, yeah, just identification of asking God to show us what that hope is, and for us to be in touch with the Spirit. Thank you. Finally, shifting away from asking, equally important, let's rest in silence together. And this third point, maybe praying, God, I open my heart to you, I open my mind to you, and I hear and I see you. And maybe if you're not feeling that today, perhaps asking God to show you, hey, I don't feel it, I don't really know how to open my heart up to you, but like, please help me to. And then sit in silence and let Him speak and see what comes up.